Have you ever wondered why the children we expect to be the most successful aren't always the ones who are there for us when we need them the most? In this video, we explore the deep and often hidden truths about family dynamics, caregiving, and the lasting impact of how we treat our loved ones. You'll discover why the children who may not have achieved the highest societal success often provide the greatest support in our later years. We will also delve into the crucial role of daughters-in-law and sons-in-law in maintaining family harmony, and how parental favoritism can shape relationships for a lifetime. But that's not all. Stay with us until the end as we reveal 3 powerful methods to improve your family life, ensure happiness, and bring peace to your relationships. These insights could change the way you understand and nurture your family connections. Whether you're a parent, child, or spouse, this video will offer perspectives that can transform your relationships for the better. Don't miss out on these life-changing lessons that could lead to stronger, more fulfilling family bonds. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked this video. You can help me continue to spread the wisdom of old age. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment 1. If you don't like it, comment 0 to let me know how I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. The first truth: truly reliable sons are often those without any major achievements in the journey of life. In the journey of parenthood, many parents naturally harbor dreams and aspirations for their children. They envision their little ones excelling in various domains, whether through academic achievements, professional milestones, or financial independence. With great pride, these parents share stories of their children's accomplishments, regaling friends and family with tales of top grades, prestigious job placements, and impressive salaries. In their eyes, these successful, high-achieving children represent the epitome of promise. They are seen as the ones who will undoubtedly ensure their parents' well-being and care in their twilight years. However, as time unfolds, the reality of life often diverges sharply from these optimistic expectations. When these children grow into adulthood, they frequently pursue grander ambitions, leaving the comforts of their hometowns behind. Some may even embark on journeys that take them across oceans in search of better opportunities, brighter futures, or new adventures. In the wake of their departures, a poignant and often heart-wrenching question arises. Who will be there to care for the parents as they age, becoming frail and needing assistance? The unfortunate and painful answer is that, all too often, it is not the children whom their parents once considered their greatest pride. Strikingly, it is often those children who are less prominent in the eyes of society, those whose achievements may not shine as brightly, who end up remaining close to home. These individuals may not have ascended the corporate ladder to dazzling heights or achieved the kind of success that turns heads at family gatherings. Yet they are the ones who stay rooted, providing a steadfast presence. Perhaps they did not venture off to distant lands or chase high-paying positions, and some may even find fulfillment in taking over their parents' modest professions, perpetuating family legacies. As the inevitable day arrives when their parents can no longer navigate daily life independently, it is these quiet, unassuming children who step forward to provide care and support. It becomes clear that what truly matters is not the glittering accolades or prestigious degrees, but rather the unwavering, loyal presence that these children offer. In the eyes of their aging parents, they are the true heroes, even if the broader world does not recognize or celebrate them as such. Countless parents find themselves grappling with the stark reality that their successful children, those who have carved out impressive lives far from home, are simply too distant, both physically and emotionally, to offer the kind of support they now require. While these accomplished children are busy forging their independent paths, they may inadvertently leave their parents facing the chilling grip of loneliness, deprived of the warmth of a familiar hand, or the comforting sound of a voice that understands their daily joys and struggles. Parents may experience feelings of abandonment despite the glowing successes of their children. In contrast, it is often the child who may not have the world at their feet or amassed great wealth or prestigious titles who emerges as the steadfast support for their parents during life's most challenging moments. They may bring a warm meal, assist with a leisurely walk in the garden, or simply share the peaceful silence of a quiet afternoon. These seemingly small acts are imbued with deep significance, reflecting a profound love that transcends material success. While they may not be able to offer lavish gifts or extravagant gestures, what they provide, time, care, and love, is immeasurably more valuable than anything money can buy. Even when they occasionally express frustration or fatigue, these devoted children do not turn their backs on their parents. Instead, they carve out space in their lives, however small, to nurture and support those who once lovingly cared for them. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Conversely, successful children, despite their impressive careers and spacious homes, often find themselves overwhelmed by the demands of their professional lives. Endless meetings, rigorous work schedules, and a whirlwind of social commitments stretch them thin, making time for family an increasingly daunting task. While they might send money or even arrange for caregiving services to assist their aging parents, deep down, we all recognize that money cannot substitute for the warmth of human connection. No material comfort can alleviate the longing for the presence of a child, a connection that elderly parents crave the most. What these parents yearn for transcends mere care. They seek love and companionship. They desire someone who can fill their hearts with a sense of belonging and closeness, an emotional bond that only family can provide. As we navigate the inevitable passage of time, a saying that may have once felt distant begins to resonate deeply. Neighbors are closer than distant relatives. In youth, it is easy to overlook the significance of this sentiment. However, as the challenges of old age set in, the truth of it becomes painfully clear. The nearby child, the one who may not have achieved monumental success in the eyes of society, often transforms into a vital lifeline. The simple act of delivering a meal, taking a short walk, or sharing a tranquil moment together becomes a profound gift. In these small, tender moments, parents find the greatest comfort and solace. Thus, we arrive at an essential understanding. The children who have achieved great heights in the world may not always be the most dependable caregivers for their aging parents. Sometimes it is the child who remains behind, whose success is measured not in wealth or titles, but in love and devotion, who becomes the most reliable source of support. Ultimately, what holds significance is not what society deems a success, but the heartfelt connection that exists between parents and children, a bond woven from the threads of love, loyalty, and presence. Parents may not always receive what they expect from their children, but if they are fortunate, they will find what they genuinely need. A child who, regardless of life's challenges, remains steadfastly by their side. The second truth we must acknowledge is the importance of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law. No matter how wonderful our children may be, the attitudes and behaviors of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law play a crucial role in family dynamics. When our children marry and embark on the journey of creating families of their own, we, as parents, can inadvertently erect an invisible barrier between our biological children and their spouses. This phenomenon often manifests as a tendency to view our children as the true, rightful members of the family, while their spouses are relegated to the status of outsiders, individuals we tolerate but do not wholeheartedly embrace. This bias, though frequently unintentional, can give rise to profound tensions within the family. It becomes all too easy for us to overprotect our grown children, even when they no longer require such guardianship. However, in doing so, we may unintentionally harm the very individuals who have entered into our children's lives, those who, like us, yearn for love, acceptance, and a sense of belonging within the family unit. How often do we, as parents, unwittingly alienate the very people we need the most? In our desire to protect our children, we may create an environment steeped in division rather than unity. When conflicts inevitably arise within our children's marriages, our instinct as parents may lead us to rally around our flesh and blood. We might find ourselves advising separation or even divorce, convinced that our children deserve better than their current situation. Yet what we often fail to realize is that in our later years, when we find ourselves less able to care for our own needs, it won't be solely our biological children who shoulder the responsibility of looking after us. Without the cooperation, support, and goodwill of our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law, caring for us can become an overwhelming burden, one that threatens to strain even the most resilient family bonds. While it's relatively straightforward to shield and protect our children during their formative years, the reality is that as we age, we come to understand just how desperately we need the strength and support of an entire family, not just the children we have raised. There's an adage that resonates profoundly within this context. Sons belong to their mothers, but daughters will not stay home forever. This simple yet powerful phrase serves as a reminder that family dynamics evolve over time, and as parents, we must be willing to broaden our perspective to embrace our children's spouses fully. Our sons, who once relied on us for guidance and support, now have wives who shape their lives. Similarly, our daughters have husbands who become their partners in this journey called life. Clinging to the notion that only our biological children are deserving of our love and attention, while sidelining their spouses, is a recipe for disaster. If we, as parents, fail to open our hearts to our children's partners, we risk creating an environment fraught with tension, where even the most devoted children may begin to distance themselves, influenced by the very spouses we never fully accepted. The tight grip we once held on our children may loosen over time, leaving us with emotional distance instead of the closeness we desire. Consider the painful dilemmas that often arise, such as, if both my mother and my wife were drowning, who should I save first? This heart-wrenching scenario emphasizes the impossible choice that can place an individual in a deeply uncomfortable position between two of the most significant people in their life. Rather than forcing our children to make such agonizing choices between their parents and their spouses, the most constructive path forward lies in fostering cooperation, mutual understanding, and shared responsibility. When our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law feel genuinely respected and valued as integral members of the family, they are far more likely to step up willingly and lovingly to care for their aging in-laws. It's vital to remember that respect is a two-way street. Only through mutual acceptance and understanding can families truly unite in times of need. As we age, it becomes all too easy to harbor grudges or feelings of resentment toward our daughters-in-law or sons-in-law due to perceived slights or differences in values. We might feel that they lack respect for us or are not as committed to family life as we wish them to be. However, instead of clinging to these negative emotions, we must take a step back and reflect on our attitudes and behaviors. Are we guilty of holding on to biases or failing to treat them as genuine family members? It's essential to recognize that emotions flow in multiple directions, and our expectations should never be one-sided. We must strive for understanding, empathy, and a willingness to bridge any gaps in our relationships, rather than placing blame. Even as we grow older and our physical abilities may wane, maintaining a positive and open-minded attitude can make all the difference in nurturing our familial bonds. While we can't control every aspect of our relationships, we do have power over how we approach them. By extending respect and understanding to all family members, especially our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law, we can cultivate an environment filled with harmony and love. It's never too late to initiate change. When we take the time to see things from their perspectives and appreciate the roles they play in our children's lives, we elevate ourselves to not just respected elders, but truly beloved family members. Building strong, loving relationships with our children's spouses is one of the most valuable gifts we can offer, not only to ourselves but to our entire family. Instead of isolating ourselves through complaints or feelings of disconnect, we should actively work on nurturing these vital relationships. Let's not view them merely as extensions of our children, but rather as individuals with their strengths, challenges, and unique contributions to the family fabric. By fostering goodwill and cooperation, and treating our daughters-in-law and sons-in-law with the same love and care we show our children, we can help create a family that stands united, even in the face of the challenges that come with aging and illness. Ultimately, it's not the bloodlines that determine a family's strength. Rather, It is the bonds of love and mutual respect that we nurture over time. These connections are the ties that will sustain us through life's journey, especially when we can no longer walk that path alone. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. As parents move through the seasons of life and enter their autumn years, the consequences of their earlier decisions and actions in raising their children become painfully evident. This phase marks a significant transition, a time when parents begin to see the direct results of the seeds they planted, seeds sown through their words, actions, and the way they treated their children. It is often in these twilight years that uncomfortable truths emerge, truths that are hard to confront. Parents who showed favoritism, inequity, or neglect during their children's formative years will likely face the painful repercussions of those choices when they seek support from their grown children later in life. Children who were excessively favored may struggle to navigate adulthood, growing into individuals who are irresponsible, ungrateful, and ill-equipped to handle life's challenges. They may become overly reliant on their parents, lacking the independence and resilience needed to forge their own paths and support themselves. On the other hand, those children who experienced neglect or unfair treatment, especially in comparison to their siblings, may carry deep-seated feelings of resentment that linger long into adulthood. These emotional wounds, often buried beneath the surface during childhood, can fester and eventually surface in the form of distance or estrangement. The emotional scars left by parental bias are not easily forgotten and can resurface at the most inopportune moments, particularly when parents in their later years find themselves in desperate need of care and affection from their children. A poignant illustration of this truth can be found in the film Everything is Fine, which powerfully captures the disintegration of a family unable to maintain fairness. The story follows Suo, the younger son, who grows up in a household where he is constantly compared to his older brother. Despite his success, the emotional scars from his childhood remain raw as he yearns for the love and warmth his mother denied him. His older brother, however, was pampered and became overly dependent on their mother, ultimately failing to achieve much in life. The stark contrast between their experiences breeds a toxic undercurrent in their relationship, filled with unspoken tensions. When their parents pass away, the long-suppressed issues explode to the surface. Each sibling places blame on the other for the unfair treatment they endured. Suo is consumed by bitterness, while his brother struggles with unmet expectations. The result is a family left fractured, with lingering resentment and unresolved conflicts that persist long after their parents are gone. This heartbreaking narrative reflects the deep instability that can take root in a family when parents fail to foster fairness and balance. The effects of parental bias, favoritism, or neglect extend far beyond childhood. They echo through the years, often surfacing when parents are vulnerable and in desperate need of care during their later years. As parents reach a stage where they can no longer care for themselves, the imbalances created by their past treatment of their children become painfully evident. This realization can create barriers to fostering the love, unity, and cooperation necessary for elder care. No parent is perfect, and it's natural for relationships with children to ebb and flow over time. Nonetheless, it's crucial for parents to strive for equilibrium, ensuring that each child feels valued, supported, and loved. Unfortunately, many parents come to this realization too late. Often it is only when they are physically weakened and unable to care for themselves that they understand the emotional toll their past choices have exacted on their family. They look back with regret, wishing they had been fairer, had addressed conflicts, and had cultivated an environment where all their children felt equally important and cherished. Instead of experiencing the support and cohesion of a united family during their time of need, they may find themselves surrounded by emotional exhaustion and fractured relationships. In their later years, parents often feel a deep sense of regret, recognizing that their earlier choices have drained the emotional reserves of the family. What should have been a source of love and energy has instead led to disillusionment, bitterness, and the erosion of family unity. By the time parents need their children's support the most, the well of emotional support may have already run dry. They are left to confront their final years with sorrow and longing for what could have been. Ultimately, the changes that parents experience in their relationships with their children as they age serve as a direct reflection of the seeds they planted in their children's hearts over the years. If those seeds were sown with love, fairness, and understanding, the resulting harvest will be one of mutual care and support. But if those seeds were sown with bias, neglect, or unfairness, the outcome will bring distance, resentment, and regret. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons resonate with you, please comment 3 below to let me know that you're still engaged. Thank you for your valuable time. In the grand journey of life, it is all too easy to become so immersed in the present that we overlook the importance of preparing for the future, especially the inevitable shifts that accompany aging. Midlife should not be a time for complacency. Rather, it should be a moment that prompts us to thoughtfully consider the future, particularly the days when our health may decline and we might find ourselves relying on others more than we would like. We must confront the reality that life does not stand still. It moves forward relentlessly. And in doing so, we must acknowledge that true peace in our later years comes not from avoiding these truths, but from preparing for them, emotionally, mentally, and relationally. There is a powerful story about a farmer who was deeply crushed by the weight of poverty. In the depths of his despair, he looked up to the heavens and cried out to God, "Why must I live my entire life with nothing?" His anguished plea echoed his feelings of hopelessness and longing for a better life. In response to his heartfelt cry, God presented him with a tempting offer. "If you truly feel you have nothing, I will give you 10,000 gold pieces, but in return, I will take away your wife, your children, and the rest of your days." Faced with this harsh and life-altering proposition, the farmer fell silent, struck by a profound realization that began to wash over him. In that moment, he understood that he didn't truly have nothing. He had everything that truly mattered. He had his beloved family, the relationships that filled his heart with love and warmth, and the precious gift of time spent together. It dawned on him that it wasn't until the threat of losing them loomed dangerously close that he had failed to see their immense value. This poignant story serves as a profound reminder that, at times, true happiness is not found in the distant dreams we chase, but in the blessings we already hold close to our hearts. How often do we find ourselves consumed by a yearning for more wealth, more success, more recognition, only to overlook the beauty of what is right in front of us, the people we love, the moments of peace we experience, and the small, seemingly insignificant things that bring us joy are treasures that can easily be taken for granted. True fulfillment doesn't arise from a life of perfection, but rather from the gratitude we cultivate for the imperfect yet precious gifts we already possess. Whether we are young and ambitious, bursting with dreams and aspirations, or older and reflecting on the paths we've walked, the key to contentment lies in appreciating the here and now. Life will inevitably present us with challenges, imperfections, and moments of doubt that can cloud our perspective. However, if we can learn to value what we have today, our families, our health, and our time spent with loved ones, we open ourselves to real happiness. This is the kind of happiness that isn't dependent on chasing elusive dreams, but is rooted in treasuring what is already ours. As we navigate through the various stages of life, the wisdom we gain along the way should guide us toward a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Instead of seeking perfection or constantly striving for more, let us teach ourselves, and future generations, to embrace the intrinsic value of the present moment. Only then can we discover the lasting peace and happiness that come from within, the kind that strengthens families, deepens relationships, and makes our days, regardless of their length, truly meaningful. By fostering this mindset, we can transform our lives into a rich tapestry of gratitude and love, celebrating the moments that truly define our existence. 3 methods to change fate and improve life. The first method is to change your words. How we communicate profoundly shapes our lives, particularly within the family unit. Our words hold incredible power. They can uplift and inspire, or tear down and discourage. Speaking with kindness, especially to your children, and using language that reflects love, patience, and understanding, can create an atmosphere of harmony that resonates well into old age. Consider how your choice of words affects your family dynamics. When you foster an environment of gentle communication, you nurture relationships built on mutual respect and affection. As we age, this nurturing becomes even more crucial. By consciously letting go of anger and choosing to speak kindly, you do more than just alleviate tension in the moment. You establish a lasting foundation of respect and love that equips your family to navigate the challenges life may present. The impact of positive communication can echo throughout generations, helping to build a legacy of compassion and understanding. The second method is to change your mindset. Life is unpredictable, and often it does not unfold according to our expectations, particularly regarding how we perceive the treatment we receive from others. Instead of holding on to the belief that everyone must treat you perfectly, find solace in the understanding that even a single person's care for you can make all the difference. Family dynamics are not static. They evolve, and it is natural for relationships to experience imbalances and conflicts. By relinquishing the desire for everything to be flawless and embracing the imperfections of life with grace, you liberate yourself from the burdens of bitterness and resentment. Clinging to grudges only serves to deepen your emotional pain, while learning to let go becomes essential to cultivating a peaceful heart. Accepting the reality of life's imperfections allows you to find joy in the present and fosters a sense of resilience that empowers you to face whatever challenges come your way. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. As we age, the importance of maintaining our relationships becomes ever more evident. It's all too easy for pride and resentment to create barriers between ourselves and those we care about, but it is crucial to recognize the value of connection. Reaching out to loved ones, nurturing those bonds, and setting aside our egos for the sake of meaningful interactions can make a profound difference in our lives. By fostering close relationships with family, friends, and even neighbors, we enhance our chances of receiving the support and companionship we may need most when life becomes challenging. A humble heart, one that is open to asking for help and graciously accepting it, is a heart that will never feel isolated. When we cultivate these relationships, we not only enrich our own lives but also create a network of love and support capable of helping us navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. Let me now share a deeply impactful story that speaks to the complexities and valuable lessons many of us can relate to in our own lives. Yuko's experience is a poignant reminder of how family dynamics can shift and evolve in unexpected and sometimes painful ways. Yuko had an older brother, and for some time she lived with her mother and grandfather in her brother's house. However, this arrangement was fraught with tension. Yuko's mother often called her in tears, expressing frustration with how her son and his wife were failing to provide the care she needed. The emotional strain between Yuko's mother and her brother's wife escalated, eventually leading the latter to make the difficult decision to send their mother back to Yuko's family home. This unexpected turn of events required Yuko to make a tremendous sacrifice. She had to quit her job and return to her hometown to care for her aging mother. At the outset, Yuko approached this responsibility with unwavering love and patience. It is often said that daughters tend to be more compassionate and sensible than sons, and Yuko's actions certainly supported this. She dedicated herself to listening to her mother, preparing nutritious meals, offering massages, and even sleeping beside her on numerous occasions to tend to her needs. Yet, over time, a heartbreaking truth began to unfold. Despite all her sacrifices, Yuko's mother became increasingly negative. Instead of expressing gratitude for her daughter's devoted care, her mother began to criticize her harshly, even forbidding her from contacting her husband and children. This emotional burden became unbearable for Yuko, especially when she discovered that her mother was speaking ill of her to others. claiming that Yuko didn't love her despite all her efforts. The tension continued to mount, and Yuko's mother sowed discord within the family, creating a situation where unhappiness prevailed. Neither Yuko nor her siblings could find peace in their final years with her mother. In hindsight, Yuko's mother regretted how she had treated her sons and daughters-in-law, but by then the damage to their family relationships had already been done, leaving scars that would take time and effort to heal. This story serves as a powerful reminder that family harmony can only be preserved when we cultivate communication rooted in love, relinquish unrealistic expectations, and take responsibility for our actions. Yuko's journey teaches us that transforming our words, mindset, and relationships is essential for improving our lives and the lives of those we cherish. Holding on to pride, anger, or resentment only creates distance between ourselves and our families. The sooner we learn to release these burdensome feelings, the more likely we are to forge lasting, meaningful connections that will help us navigate life's challenges together. As people age, the dynamics between parents and children inevitably shift, often in ways that feel bittersweet. Elderly individuals, especially when their health begins to decline, can become anxious and sensitive about their changing abilities and the roles they once held in the family. The fear of losing independence, combined with a longing for attention and care from their children, creates a complex emotional landscape. On one hand, elderly parents long for connection and comfort. On the other, they may feel a need to assert their independence or distance themselves from their children, fearing that they will become a burden. This emotional push and pull can lead to tension, particularly when elderly parents begin to speak ill of their children to others. Though this behavior may stem from frustration, it only serves to widen the gap between them, reducing the children's willingness to engage with their aging parents. Risa's story exemplifies the complexities of caregiving and the emotional toll it can take on both parents and children. At 51, Risa had spent countless years single-handedly caring for her mother, who had suffered severe injuries when she broke her leg several years prior. The injury, coupled with her mother's growing confusion and cognitive decline, left Risa in a constant state of worry and vigilance. Despite these hardships, Risa devoted herself wholeheartedly to her mother's care. She prepared nutritious meals for her, ensuring her mother's comfort, and even installed security cameras throughout their home to ensure her mother didn't fall when she was away. But this responsibility came with immense sacrifice. Risa made the monumental decision to quit her high-paying job, dedicating herself to her mother's complex and overwhelming needs. This choice cost her dearly, taking away not only her flourishing career, but also significantly impacting her personal life. Over the years, Risa's marriage, once vibrant, gradually deteriorated under the weight of caregiving responsibilities. Ultimately, the marriage dissolved, and subsequent relationships faltered as well, strained by the relentless demands of caregiving that left little room for personal connections or intimacy. This tragic reality is all too common among caregivers, who often find themselves torn between their duty to care for their ailing parents and their own desire for a fulfilling, independent life. Risa's love and dedication to her mother were profound, but the emotional toll she bore was incredibly heavy, leaving her feeling isolated and exhausted. Despite being one of 5 children, Risa was the one who stepped up to take on the primary caregiving role for her mother. Her second sister, concerned about Risa's well-being, suggested exploring alternative solutions, such as inviting their mother to live with her or considering a nursing facility that could offer specialized care. Although Risa felt it was her responsibility as the youngest sibling to care for their mother, her second sister, already managing the demands of caring for her own ailing husband, feared the emotional toll that caregiving would impose on Risa's life. She knew firsthand the sacrifices that came with such responsibilities, and worried that Risa was sacrificing too much for the sake of their mother. However, Risa was resolute in her decision, believing that this caregiving role was not just a duty, but a calling, a meaningful way to give back to the woman who had nurtured her and shaped her life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons valuable, Please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still engaged with me in this important conversation about the realities of caregiving. Thank you for your valuable time. These narratives shed light on the intricate emotional complexities that often accompany caregiving in old age. Elderly parents, while seeking care and companionship, must also be mindful of the profound sacrifices their children make in offering their support. When tensions inevitably arise, something that frequently occurs in caregiver relationships, both parents and children must work to create an atmosphere of open communication and mutual understanding. For elderly parents, expressing frustration or disappointment about their children can lead to further misunderstandings and rifts, making it increasingly difficult for their children to provide the care and support they desperately need. At the same time, children like Risa face the challenging task of navigating the delicate balance between honoring their parents' needs and protecting their own emotional and mental well-being. This balance can often feel precarious, as the weight of responsibility can lead to feelings of resentment, guilt, and burnout. Ultimately, these relationships require a foundation of patience, empathy, and mutual respect. Parents should strive to genuinely appreciate the efforts their children make, recognizing that each act of care comes with its own emotional cost. Meanwhile, children must establish healthy boundaries to protect their well-being, ensuring they can continue to provide care without sacrificing their own happiness and fulfillment. Caregiving, when approached with love and understanding, can strengthen the bond between parent and child, fostering a deeper connection built on trust and mutual respect. However, it demands ongoing emotional investment from both sides. As we reflect on the stories and lessons shared today, it becomes evident that the relationships between elderly parents and their children are both beautiful and intricate, filled with moments of joy, but also marked by challenges that require careful navigation. From the sacrifices endured by caregivers to the critical importance of communication and mutual respect, these experiences remind us of the necessity of fostering understanding and empathy within our families. They serve as poignant reminders of the complexities of love and duty, urging us to consider how we can support one another in our familial roles. Now, we would love to hear from you. What insights have you gained from these stories and reflections? Please share one key takeaway and how you plan to implement it in your own life to create a more supportive environment for both caregivers and those they care for. As we reach the end of this video, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the complexities of family dynamics, caregiving, and the importance of love and support in our later years. If you found this video meaningful, please take a moment to reflect and comment below. Share one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt stories and valuable life lessons. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to continuing this journey together.